Coming up on WUFT and First at 5, Gators men's basketball are looking to make a splash in the NCAA tournament, but without a major piece of their offense.
Jahan Larton is in extreme pain.
From Gainesville to Indianapolis, we have a live team coverage of the Gators postseason and the fans following in support.
A local daycare owner accused of stealing more than $1 million in money from the government that was supposed to provide for the children.
And your weekend plans may be rained out thanks to expected storms. The UF weather team is tracking the next round of showers. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Gators men's basketball embarks on their journey to the Final Four today in Indianapolis against Colorado. Welcome to First at 5. I'm Loren Miranda.
And I'm Bianca Smith. We have team coverage for the Gators out at the tournament and here home in Gainesville. We'll hear from WUFT's Jamie Goldman a little later on updates and the status of the score of the game. And Reagan Shepard spoke to fans who made the trip. But we began with Emilio Boutros live at a watch party in Gainesville. Emilio, fans are piled into the bar and cheering on our team.
Gainesville bars like the one behind me are packed to the brim with Gators fans as they're cheering on their team as they take on Colorado. Gators fans are as hardcore as they come, especially when cheering on their team when it matters most. March Madness. I'm here joined by Joseph Schmidt. And Joseph, how far are the Gators going this year?
The Gators are going all the way, baby. I love our odds. Let's go. I love March. Go Gators.
Well, excitements are at an all-time high as your Gators are currently leading in the first half. Live from University Ave, Emilio Boutros, WFT News.
The more than 800 miles between Gainesville and Indianapolis didn't stop Gator fans from cheering them on in person. WUFT's Reagan Shepard had the opportunity to talk to fans who made the lengthy trip.
They say the Gator Nation runs deep, and fans did not disappoint today. It's 46 degrees here in Indianapolis, but that did not prevent Gator fans from showing up and showing out for their favorite team.
Go Gators!
The Gators take the court at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but 5 hours ahead of tip-off, fans were already piling in. Gamebridge Arena has photo opportunities and logo displays of all the teams playing in the tournament right out front. I had the opportunity to talk to many different Florida fans and hear their love for the Florida Gators. Ninth grader Tommy Long was born and briefly raised in Gainesville, but relocated to Ohio. He and his father TJ traveled from Columbus to cheer on the Gators front and center.
It's pretty amazing because my last Florida game was 10 years ago, like 2 days ago on like that day. So like it's pretty good being back to watch the Gators play, especially since they've been doing good this season.
Go Gators!
Alumni or newfound fan.
My sister's a new Gator.
Supporters showed up.
Go Gators! Yeah!
Left and right. It's still somewhat quiet out here, but you can expect to see this area swarmed with not just more Gator fans, but fans of all universities playing tonight. But let's get one thing clear. The Gator Nation, rain or shine, sleet or snow, will have your back. From outside the arena in Indianapolis, Reagan Shepard, WUFT News.
And our team coverage of this year's Gators and this year's NCAA tournament continues on WUFT.org. There you can find more from head coach Todd Golden about this year's roster, and we'll have a full recap of tonight's game. And coming up later in sports, we'll update you on the latest score from Indianapolis.
It's been overcast for much of the day as we take a live look at the cloudy skies at Paynes Prairie from our DOT camera. While the rain looks like it's cleared out, the UF weather team says that there are more showers on the way. This morning, a strong line of showers moved through much of north central Florida. This video is actually from outside the WUFT studio and around Gainesville, of the system that had just passed through. And taking a look at the UF weather radar, you can see that it's clear over the area right now, but a system is heading our way from the panhandle. Let's get right over to UF forecaster Matthew Clark, who is timing out when we will see the impacts from the next round of storms.
Yeah, so we felt the rain this morning for the most part. You can see that there's another strong line of showers just moving east past Tallahassee, heading in towards parts of Gainesville. And zooming in on parts of Gainesville, you can see some showers popping up just east of 75, a couple tiny cells here that are carrying a little bit more rain, but that strong line of showers is going to start to affect us as we head into our evening hours. Now, temperatures right now across greater part of north central Florida, you can see we're in the low 70s, upper 60s in Live Oak and Lake City, 70 currently in Gainesville, keeping it mild just because of the rain that we have gotten all day. Taking a look at that weekend outlook though, Saturday not going to be the greatest day to go outside and have a nice day picnic outside. Temperatures reaching into the upper 70s. Rain chances are going to start to subside as we head into the afternoon. Sunday, much nicer day, cooler as we see parts of the front move through.
We have a tragic update to a story we first brought to you as breaking news on Thursday. The body of a missing 4-year-old boy was recovered late yesterday afternoon. Mason Newstead's body was located under a dock in the St. Johns River. Deputies in Putnam County who say Mason was nonverbal wandered away from his Walaka home Thursday afternoon. Bloodhounds, dive teams, and a helicopter from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office joined the search. Although an official cause of the death has not been released, investigators say it appears to be an accidental drowning.
And over the last month, police in Ocala have arrested a trio of men for separate crimes involving child porn. The latest arrest happened Wednesday. A cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children led to the arrest of 48-year-old Alan Reynolds. Detectives say they found multiple files of child sex abuse materials on an online account. Earlier this month, police in Millen, Georgia reached out to OPD about Greer Thompson. They say he was sending harmful materials to a child over the phone. And in February, 33-year-old Kenneth Sanabria was arrested. Investigators received a cyber tip saying Sanabria was also storing child sex material online. When they got to the home, detectives say he was living in deplorable conditions with his wife and 2 children. Sanabria and his wife were also charged with child neglect.
A Columbia County private school received millions of dollars from state learning programs. What the school's owner did with the funds brought deputy sheriffs on site Thursday. WUFT's Noelle Mary Suarez went to Lake City earlier today where she reports that the owner has been under investigation for a while.
A search warrant was executed at a residence on Northwest Canton Lane and at Touched by an Angel Learning Academy. This following a month-long investigation sparked by allegations of misuse of state funding involving its owner, Tamika Nicole Henry.
In December, Columbia County deputies received a tip that led to an investigation. Thursday, police obtained an arrest warrant for 50-year-old Lake City private school owner, Tamika Henry. Police suspect Henry of misusing $1.3 million of state funding allocated for Touched by an Angel Learning Academy. Authorities say the funds were dispersed from the Early Learning Coalition and the Step Up for Students program. Authorities say Henry could be charged with fraud and grand theft.
The investigation continues as detectives seek potential accomplices and victims of personal information misuse. Noelle Mary Suarez, WUFT News.
A man is in custody and another is on the run after deputies say they stole hundreds of thousands of dollars from John Travolta's Jumbo Lair business. WUFT's Sarah Howard is live in the studio here where the search for the final suspect stands.
The Marion County Sheriff's Department has confirmed that Jean Paul LaCruz Ramiro is in custody on charges of money laundering, organized fraud, and grand theft. According to the police report, the 26-year-old was a pilot for John Travolta's company Constellation Productions. Deputies say LaCruz Ramiro and his co-pilot Jordan Kersey used a third-party company to bill Constellation for the aircraft's fuel and other charges, but we're told that's not where the money went. The funds stolen totaled nearly $800,000. LaCruz Ramiro was arrested earlier this month. The report goes on to say the pilots presented Lux Fuels as a discount fuel broker. Suspicion was raised after a Constellation employee discovered the fueling company is owned by LaCruz Ramiro's wife. Detectives say Lux Fuels was inflating expense reports being paid by Constellation. LaCruz Ramiro is being held without bond in Marion County Jail, and Kersey is wanted on similar charges. Because LaCruz Ramiro is a pilot and not a U.S. citizen, officers requested no bond as he may be a flight risk. The U.S. Marshals have been called to help search for David Kersey. Live in the studio, Sarah Howard, WUFT News.
Gainesville's mayor is speaking out, supporting changes to the city's downtown parking. 80 downtown parking spots that are currently free will soon cost you. Prepare to pay 50 cents per hour with the time limit of 2 hours. Mayor Ward says people would previously park in these spots for prolonged periods of time. He says this action discouraged others from visiting downtown businesses since parking appeared scarce. Ward says the decision allows the city to better serve those commuters' interests.
What we're really trying to do is create a situation where people who don't live and work downtown have good access to parking downtown. And they're often not part of the conversation.
This fall, new pay stations and advisories will be installed in the coming months. And coming up on First at 5, Princess Kate has broken her silence about her disappearance from the public eye. Stay tuned to find out what she said and what her next steps will be. All that and more after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, announced today her current battle with cancer. After much speculation around her momentary disappearance, the princess spoke out today on her time of privacy. In January, Kate underwent abdominal surgery for non-cancer related reasons, and while it was successful, her medical team found that cancer was present. Once recovered from the surgery, the princess has begun chemotherapy treatments.
We hope that you'll understand that as a family, we now need some time, space, and privacy while I complete my treatment. My work has always brought me a deep sense of joy, and I look forward to being back when I'm able. But for now, I must focus on making a full recovery.
Although Kate did not identify which type of cancer she's battling, she looks forward to getting back to her charity work once recovered.
There are spots in Gainesville that you can literally walk up to a tree, pick the fruit or vegetable of your choice, and take it with you free of charge. WUFT's Morgan Plaka joins us live from Fred Cone Park to tell us how you can access this food.
I'm surrounded by the trees and the fruit is finally starting to bloom. Once it's ready, you can come here, pick it out, and take it with you. People get to plant fruit, vegetables, and nut-bearing trees at Bountiful Boulevard, Smoky Bear, and Fred Cone Parks as part of the city's Edible Groves project. Mayor Harvey Ward encourages people to check out the groves for healthier food options.
An opportunity for a healthy snack when you're in the areas that have that. I would caution to not think of it as the city of Gainesville's response to food insecurity. It's just a nice thing to have. A few other cities around the country have done this, and we've found good public support for it.
Citrus tree planter Larry Schwanda says the plants in the groves change with the seasons.
There's different seasons for different vegetables. It's basically a vegetable garden. And right now we have the typical winter vegetables: broccoli, collards, kale, onions, sugar snap peas.
Larry says the help that feeds the Edible Groves project comes from the community.
It's worth the effort to plant a fruit tree. Because a citrus tree lasts 40 years. A peach tree only lasts 7 years. A persimmon, that's another fruit tree, that lasts 70 years.
Larry hopes the Edible Groves project continues through the years to encourage a lifetime of healthy eating. The city encourages residents who have not yet come to the Edible Groves to come here, but to not look at it as your only healthy food option. If you want to plant here, you have to make sure you go through the city and get their approval. Live in Gainesville, Morgan Plotka, WUFT News.
Gator Flying is this weekend, Gainesville's regional airplane show, and I'm tracking how the weather could affect how that show goes. Saturday morning it starts at around 1 p.m. Some rain is possible. I'll be tracking that.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Tracking this low pressure system that's moving through our weekend, we already saw some effects this morning. We're starting to see another line of showers start to move east of Tallahassee into Gainesville. See a couple pop-up showers just north of Gainesville right now. They're starting to move east into Stark and Waldo. Really zooming in on those. You can see some heavy rain rates just south of Gainesville right now, popping up just east of 75. We're going to try to track those storms, and as we look on the campus cam, you can see some rainfall just at the Century Tower right now. A couple sunshine over the O-Dome right now. You can see some of those overhead clouds right now. Temperature is around 69 degrees though. Here's the low pressure system that we're tracking on our live satellite and radar. It's really impacting most of Florida. Cloud cover really just across the entire state. We do have a lot of heavy storms down south of Gulf of Mexico right now, and we're just tracking that tiny little cell that's heading towards us now. As we look into the evening hour, we're going to start to see that cell start to really come into our area as we head into the evening hours, dinner hours really, and it's going to start to taper off as we head into our nighttime hours. Now looking at that future radar now, you can start to see Friday night, it starts to clear up, but then Saturday morning, early Saturday morning, we have a strong line of showers with some really heavy rainfall on Saturday morning around 6. Those showers are going to start to move through Saturday afternoon with a couple spotty showers just west of Gainesville, going to come from the north if we are going to start to see some showers on our Saturday into Sunday morning. Now really taking a look at that hour by hour, you can see those temperatures on Saturday reaching into the 70s. Rain chance is going to stay pretty moderate throughout the entire day. Not the best day to go outside and do anything. Good news is with the rain, it's going to knock down the pollen as we head into the weekend. Going to medium pollen index Saturday and Sunday. But when that rain starts to head out, it's going to reach back into the high. Really going to want to dose up on some of that allergy medicine. And for the most part, you're going to want to stay inside away from that pollen. Now taking a look at that 7-day forecast though, you can see 40% chance of rain on Saturday. Temperatures kind of dropping because it is a part of a front into the 50s on Sunday and Monday. Temperatures going to reach back into the 80s on Tuesday, and then some more rain chances later into the week.
Coming up in sports, we'll dive into all of the madness happening in college basketball, plus what Florida gymnastics head coach Jenny Rowland had to say before the SEC tournament. All that and more right after the break.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Happy Friday. Let's talk sports. I'm Jamie Goldman. March Madness is in full swing, and the Florida Gators are in the middle of first-round play against Colorado right now. The Gators currently lead the Buffaloes 42-41 with a minute left in the first half. A couple local prospects are playing in the big dance as well. Gainesville native Brian Greenlee and Ocala native Brennan Lorient went to battle for FAU earlier this afternoon. The Owls took Northwestern to overtime, but weren't able to get the win, falling to the Wildcats 77-65. Another Florida college takes the floor today as 16-seed Stetson is in the middle of action against the 1-seeded UConn Huskies. The defending national champs currently lead Stetson 85-48 with just under 4 minutes to play. Gators women's basketball saw its season come to an end last night, falling to St. John's 79-60 in the WBIT. Aaliyah Matharu's 23 points wasn't enough to keep the Gators season alive. Florida finishes the year at an even 16-16 and 5-11 in SEC play. The SEC Gymnastics Championship kicks off tomorrow afternoon in New Orleans. The Gators enter the tournament ranked as the number 4 team in the country, posting a 17-1 record. Florida will compete in Session 2 with LSU, Kentucky, and Alabama starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow. Head coach Jenny Rowland says the SEC tournament is the best time of year.
My most favorite week, my most favorite competition. You have your friends and your competitors and everybody all together on the competition floor, and it's game on.
Florida is looking to three-peat this year after winning back-to-back SEC tournaments in the past 2 seasons. Gators baseball is back in action tonight as they'll also be in Louisiana to take on the LSU Tigers. Florida is looking to bounce back this weekend after losing to Jacksonville University on Tuesday. Even after some rocky starts, Coach Kevin O'Sullivan is sticking with the same pitching rotation this weekend against LSU. Cade Fisher will get the start tonight, followed by Liam Peterson tomorrow, and two-way star Jack Caglione will get the bump on Sunday. First pitch tonight is set for 8. Finally, Gators women's swimming and diving entered today in second place at the Nationals in Athens, Georgia. Also, Gator baseball star Wyatt Langford has made the major league roster for the Texas Rangers.
That's pretty impressive. And before we go, let's take one last look at the weather.
Yeah, your Saturday is going to be pretty rainy. As we head into our Sunday, though, it's going to start to mild down. Much nicer day on Sunday to go outside. But for the rest of the week, we're up in the upper 70s and the lower 60s, sometime reaching into the 50s.
Thanks for joining us. We're back here on Monday for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and all of our social media platforms. Have a good night.